would like to start by offering my support. Specifically my support for the Commission's proposal for the EU to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. And I would like to see it adopted by the European Council. The entire world needs to get to net zero. You can argue a little bit when that needs to be, but for sure the EU needs to be ahead of perhaps some less advanced and developed economies. We think 2050 is actually doable based on the modeling that we have done, but it will require a number of things. First of all, an unprecedented level of collaboration between all the different parties involved, not just the member states, but also different members of society and the economy. And then, of course, a number of very significant policies need to be adopted. Key is, first of all, a very well-functioning emissions trading system, very much also in line with Article 6, ideally globally. But it will also require a very significant change of the regulation around power to make sure that renewable energy can be integrated within the system as efficiently and as effectively as possible. And we will need things like carbon capture and storage and nature-based solutions. The advances that the EU has made with the emissions trading system have been very encouraging. But the world needs greater international cooperation. I think in the lead up to the next COP meeting, I would say the key thing that we need to get right, the most important thing that we need to get right, is actually to get Article 6 to work. I do not believe that we will be able to get to an adequate outcome of significantly below 2 degrees C without an ability to really have international trade around emissions. The biggest challenge in my mind is the commerciality of the actions that need to be taken. So therefore we need to have market design and enabling regulations that make it sensible for companies to bring forward investments. I think if you have that, it actually becomes a business opportunity. The world is not moving fast enough to tackle climate change. But I believe that action taken by business, working together, has the potential to help change that. And that's why Shell wants to establish a coalition of businesses which work together within sectors to enable decarbonization of those sectors. Some of you may already be aware that we have an ambition to cut the net carbon intensity of the energy products that we sell by around 50% by 2050. And that rate of reduction is consistent with the global goals of Paris. It is what we call our net carbon footprint ambition. Sectorial decarbonization, that is going to be something where the creativity, the imagination, but also the actions need to come from business itself. Particularly industry, in my mind, stepping up and doing their part, very much sort of on a sector-by-sector basis, trying to find out how are we going to get to a net zero aviation system or a net zero shipping system or a net zero steel or petrochemical system. And I think here it is actually government working together with industry to find out how that needs to happen, but also industry working together collectively so that energy suppliers working together with energy users to find out how are we going to decarbonize that particular sector. What I would like is for Shell to be just one part of a much bigger global coalition of businesses, a coalition that is dedicated to Paris.